Yeah, so Foxy was like, you can write that in the interview how this bitch about to get fucked up. So up until this time, they would always come in on different days. Like Daddy-O would have them come on different days. He was working with Kim and Foxy. They were both recording in his studio at the time, and he would have them separate. Yo, you know what? Now that I think about it, okay, that was a as far as her them auditioning, that was a different time. They were already signed. That's what it was. They were already signed. My memory my memory struck me back on something. So Junior Mafia was already signed. They were in a meeting that day because there were some labels coming by and they were going to attempt to sign Junior. I don't know who it was. It wasn't the label that they got signed with. But it was another label coming. I don't know whether it was Profile or one of them, Sleeping Bag, one of them little small labels coming by. They were going to attempt to sign Junior Mafia. That's what it was. And then they didn't want to let Foxy downstairs because Foxy, didn't know that Big no longer wanted her in Junior Mafia. So that's what happened. She was coming by, right, to link up with Biggie, but Biggie at this time, Kim was, before was like, nah, we don't need nobody else, right? So, boom, that's what happened with that. So that's why she was like, oh, F Kim, this and the other. Oh, that bitch, she don't want me to come, like, she don't want to share the shine. Like, you know what I mean? She don't want to share the shine. Like, we from the same hood, such and such, it'll just be double, better the fun, double the trouble for other bitches, right? So she was like, oh, she wanted her and Kim to rock together, this, that, and the other. But Foxy's upstairs getting all loud or whatever. So now one of Junior Mafia comes upstairs. I don't remember what. It wasn't C's. What was it? C's? I don't think it was C's. But they come upstairs and they like, yo, bitch, you gotta calm that shit down. And Foxy's like, bitch. So this just starts some other crazy shit up. So now Foxy's brother Gavin, right? Foxy are brothers that like they ride for Foxy, right? And they were heavy in the streets, right? So she's like, looks like I'm about to call my brother up here, right? So whenever, her brothers are thorough, right? And they always quick to fight for Foxy. So she getting ready to start this whole big thing. Right? Now, meanwhile, they keeping Kim downstairs. They don't really want Kim to know what's going on, right? They keeping Kim downstairs. So Junior Mafia come up there. We upstairs, like we trying to calm Foxy down, and Foxy every time. The funny thing is, every time she arguing with her, she's nah, fuck that shit, no. And then me and Jay, me and my boy Jay trying to calm her down, and she's like, fuck that shit. Look over, yo, who the fuck are these cornball ass niggas, right? Every few minutes, she keep turning around like, yo, who the fuck are you? It got to the point where by the time she turned around and said it like the third time, even she started laughing. Because she's like yelling, I'm coming by here, this old jealous ass bitch, so. Yo, she got me fucked up. Like, I'm coming over here to conduct business, and you're going to tell me Big got to be man enough to come upstairs and tell me myself. Right? So they're like, yo, he's in a meeting, he's downstairs on the conduct that. Fuck that. I ain't trying to talk to none of you old peon ass niggas. This is Big's group. Big's group. He's the one that told me that I'm going to be rocking with Junior Mafia, blah, blah, blah. I don't need none of you old peon ass niggas. Yo, who the fuck is this nigga? Yo, I'm going to ask this one more time. Right? So every time she turn around to the last point where she just even started laughing at herself. She's like, you know what? I'm not fucking with y'all. I'm not dealing with y'all. Y'all funny. Right? So then she said, she want Big to come upstairs and tell him, you tell me my fucking self that I'm that. So Big was like, you tell him I'll call Clark. Right? Look, Big didn't want to go upstairs and deal with Foxy. Right? So Big was like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll go upstairs. I'm gonna smack the shit up the bitch. Right? So a lot of reasons of why this didn't get out is because it started escalating to a point where it shouldn't have been, and then there was, I'm not gonna name the men, but there were male threats on females, right? And Big was known to lay his hands on Kim. Now, I'm not saying Big would have laid his hands on Foxy, but it escalated to a point where, you know, dudes was pulling out weapons, and it's ironic that later on in their career, another gunshot situation came. And the funny thing about this one is Kim, they were still trying to like keep Kim blocked from it. Kim's like, what's going on? What's going on? And, you know, she all little. And they weren't letting her go. They were just like, oh, there's something. But they weren't telling her, oh, you know, it's between, it was started with Foxy mad about her, right? Well, because I think Big, he probably had told Kim that he already had it handled. I believe he had told Kim, he had already told Foxy, nah, we're not rocking with whatever. So Kim's sitting there looking like, she's hearing a woman voice, and she's like, that sounds like Fox. And they're like, oh, they gotten into something, you know, with her and one of the other Junior Mafia niggas. I think he was trying to fuck with her or something like that. And they were trying to say that they was in an argument because that Junior Mafia nigga was trying to fuck Foxy and blah, blah, blah. So they tried to tell Kim it was some other shit. But she ended up finding out, of course, later on. And the funny thing is, even after that situation, you know, blew over, Kim and Foxy had became, you know, actually became friends around 96, 97. They were still friends, like rocking or whatever. And then they didn't fall out until like after the Thelma and Louise situation. I believe that was around 97, 96, 97. I think Thelma and Louise was 96, I think, when Leo Cohen offered them 500 grand. So that was like $1 million. He offered them $1 million between the two of them to split to do the Thelma and Louise project. And, you know, Foxy says Kim didn't show up. It was Kim says, oh, that's not how it went. You know, we'll indulge into that in another video. But this was the fight, you know, that almost got just as bad as the eventual fight that everybody found out about. And it was because initially started because Big didn't tell Foxy he was not going to put her in Junior Mafia. She had to find that out that day when she showed up at Daddy-O Studios when they were going to get signed by another artist. You want to confirm my story? Ask Daddy-O. It's your boy Heaven Hollywood. There's been industry stories. We're gonna hit you with another one. My other video, I'm gonna have the second time I interacted with Kim and Foxy, and this time it has something to do with Jay-Z and the whole Foxy. You know, she let people know. Everybody thinks that, oh, Foxy's never said anything. Foxy confirmed what was going on with her and Jay-Z. So, and I had the text messages. I was the one who went viral off the story. You know, before viral was viral. I went viral before it was viral. I'll explain that in another industry stories. It's your boy Heaven Hollywood. Those receipts are still out there too. You just gotta look for them. It's your boy Heaven Hollywood for the IE Network. There's been industry stories.